Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome to another episode in this Quantum Conversations Summit Series, Energy, Healing, and Well-Being. Today, we are with sound healer Susan Sophia James. She is a beautiful soul here to talk to us about our energy system and a chakra ancient sound activation. Susan, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here too.
So as we're talking about energy healing and the chakras, this is really fascinating. Why are the chakras so important when we're talking about energy? What happens with the chakras that can distort our energy? Can you explain that as we begin?
I think of our chakras as ancient wisdom holding, but also all of our memories and experiences. So within each one, there's a resonance with the area of our body. And so they can become distorted by our own life experiences that are then created in our ego about feeling safe, or traumas that we've experienced that cause us to look at the world maybe differently, that can be healed and restored.
Very interesting that our chakras, these energy centers, are actually holding our thoughts and our emotions. Have you given any reflection on why that happens? Why a thought can be connected to emotions that then become anchored in our body?
So we have energy that's connected to our thoughts and emotions. So the more powerful an emotion is, and the more repeated it is, it becomes more solid or sustained. And because of that, it has a resonance that becomes part of us. So that connection would be lodged into a different area depending on which chakra it was. So if I had thoughts about my voice wasn't, I was afraid to speak my truth, then I may have some restriction or distortion in my throat chakra. Or one of the things that I noticed, which is now seems like another lifetime ago, when I started working on my own chakras, I realized I had gone through a divorce and that my heart chakra was actually flipped backwards and shut down because I really did not trust at all, other people and relationships. And so I had to work I would kind of go, come on out here and come out, and it would go, no, I don't want to. So it took time to build that relationship in a different way than maybe it would be approached if somebody was doing kind of traditional therapy. So it would be working with it through more of a visualization and feeling experience.
Okay, well, that is wonderful. And it's our awareness of what's happening within our bodies. This is really the key these days, is to feel into our bodies. And that's the work of the chakras. And somehow, as we go through a process with you today, we're going to feel more into that. But it's amazing that we are given such a lens into our body, into our emotions through the chakras. I find it really remarkable. So let's talk about the ancient chakra sound and music, chakra and energy system alignment. What is that all about, and how did you discover this?
So back in the late 80s, I was studying with a woman who did what she called Tibetan sound blowing. And then also she was at that time, call her a psychic who worked for the Tucson Police Department, finding missing children using photographs. And so I was learning how to do that. And then she also taught me automatic writing. And
Mm.
so I started doing automatic writing, and I had I don't know if you would call it a guides, and I kind of got mad at them because I didn't like what they were telling. They always were saying everything will be well. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going through a really hard time and I don't want to hear that anymore. So I kind of got a new group, I guess, or maybe a different version of the same group, I'm not sure. And they have always started in a language. And so I would write these words down, and then I started kind of hearing these melodies. And at that time, it was sort of just beginning, and I didn't have a connection to the melodies. But then over time, I've been instructed, you could call it instructed, or just known what that particular melody is for. So I use the different melodies in different ways, and there are also sometimes movements that go with these specific melodies. And what I'm told about this group is that they bring a manifestation into being through song, through frequency. So and anyway, so that's sort of how it started. And I use this chakra clearing alignment process every day. And it makes working with your chakras much easier to me, because singing to ourselves, or you could call it singing to ourselves, is very it's very kind and compassionate, and also is a sense of worthiness. And there's the emanation is love and kindness, and also structure and strength. So it has these different components to it.
That sounds really wonderful and so nurturing and supportive as well. So let's go ahead and just go into this. Maybe there's an experiential. Do you want to give a backstory to it, or tell us more about what you're going to do before we go into it, or we can just dive right in?
Sure. So before I work with chakras, one of the requirements is to have your body grounded. And grounding, I know different people do grounding different ways, and I look at grounding as it's a very basic kind of function, but at the same time, there are also advanced applications of using grounding that work with the chakras as well, which I can talk about after we do the chakras activation. So I would ask the listeners to first take your 3 fingers like this and place them below your belly button. And preferably you would be standing with your feet shoulder width apart, with your knees slightly bent, and the bend in the knees allows the energy to go through your body instead of having like stiff knees. And the idea of putting your 3 fingers below your belly button is to locate the center called the Dan Tian, which is a Chinese word. And that point that's 3 fingers below your belly button is not on the surface of your skin, but it's actually located halfway between the front and the back and your right and left hip. So it's a point of light that's like a starlight in the night sky. And so it's just a point of light, and it's not connected to chakras or organs because we have spaciousness within us. And that point of light has a beam of energy that's white light, like the sun's light, that extends, and it's about as big around as your baby finger. So it's very slim, but it's like a flashlight beam, maybe, to think of it that way. So at this point, people might want to shut their eyes and tune in to find their dantian, and then also when they have, take a deep breath and then visualize that beam of light, like a flashlight beam, extending down through their perineum, through the earth, through easily. It goes through all the strata of the earth into just the center of the earth. And it can take, if someone hasn't done this exercise before, allow yourself to take as much time as you need. And if you're familiar with that exercise, the end of the beam becomes, for either whatever you prefer as a visualization, either an anchor or roots, but the beam of light never is associated with your root chakra, nor does it ever connect to your feet. And a lot of times when people make that connection, you can feel your body kind of move back and forth just a tiny bit, which shows you've made that connection. And one of the reasons for making that connection is, as we develop our higher energies, it allows us to manage and bridge that energy so that we can make use of it, so that we are able to work and manifest in the world. And so that's the grounding portion of it. And then, so what I'll do is go through the 7 chakras on our body, and I'll say where they are. And I always also do the 2 hand chakras, which are connected to the heart chakra, and then the bottom of our feet, the 2 chakras on the bottom of our feet, and then the chakra that is not on our body below our feet, and the chakra that is not on our body that is above our head, which is 13. So I'll hum the melody and then I'll sing the melody. So basically what I'm doing is focusing on the root chakra and visualizing. The root chakra is the only chakra that doesn't really extend straight out from the body. There's a slight tilt to it, so it's extending towards the earth somewhat. And it's more, the shape of it is like a cone going out. In fact, all the chakras, if you think about, the energy comes into our bodies kind of like a vortex, and because they are vortexes. So it is conical, so it extends outward kind of in a radiating fashion. So for the visualization, you're considering that these are really brilliant points of light that have this kind of conical shape, and also to bring awareness to that the chakras are not only on the front. They're on the front and the back, so they're going through us. So the energy is going in both. You could think of the energy moving through this way or that way, it doesn't matter, or both ways. If some people, it's harder to do both at the same time. But for the root chakra, we're going to start with the root chakra. Is a conical shape that extends from the location which is above our pubis bone, kind of at an angle to the earth. So it does not extend straight out, it extends downward somewhat towards the earth in the front and the back. And the melody, I'll hum it and then I'll sing it, is oh, oh, oh. gonna stop for a minute because I would invite you, when you feel you can join along, to also hum the melody, because you can feel it in your body, and feeling it is important. A lot of times people uh, want to not feel their body because it's uncomfortable, but this is the way we also feel our passion and the things that are positive for us. So it's being present and willing to feel what we feel, basically. I'm going to start again, and now we'll go to that was actually very quick, and I'll do a longer version of it. And so when you're humming to each chakra or singing to each chakra, it's important to allow yourself to tune in and to notice how it feels, and knowing that when you're doing this, it's helping to clear things. So if you notice a memory or a thought come up, then that is something that is maybe important for you to look at or to notice, and allow it to dissipate. So allow yourself just to tune in to the experience that you're having. And the more that you do this exercise, the more it works on your chakra system and helps to release things that are uh, no longer needed, that it's time to release them. And it's not that they're going to hit you over the head or anything. It's a gentle process. So I'll start again. And then we'll go to the next chakra. So we're going to go to the spleen chakra. So that would be above, normal, kind of for most people above their belly button. And you may feel this going through your body. So the spleen chakra is going to go through your front and back. So I'm going to go into the full sound of it. So that little version there is the shorter version, and the longer one is I wanna hey away. I wanna hey away. Oh away. I wanna hey I away. I know way. I wanna hey you hey. I wanna hey. And as you're doing this, you're visualizing the energy as a beautiful light that's streaming through the front and the back of your chakra. So moving to the solar plexus chakra. So that would be kind of right at the top of your rib cage, under, kind of right about here, if you can see my hand. Oh, wanna hey, oh, way. I wanna hey, I wanna hey, oh, way. Oh, I wanna hey, I wanna way. Oh, I wanna I wanna hear your way. Oh, I away. And now we're going to go to the heart. So the heart is the mediator between the three below and the three above. And you can put your hand on your heart. So I've been putting my hand on each chakra, so you can also do that as well. As you tune in and feel the sound going through your body, if you can sing along with it now. Oh, I na hey, away. I wanna hey, I wanna know away. Away. Oh, Anahe. I know, yeah, away, away. And now the throat chakra. Oh, Ayana, hey, away. I wanna away. I wanna, hey, away. I wanna, hey. I away. I know, hey, away. I know away. And the brow chakra. I wanna hey away. I wanna hey. I wanna hey away. I wanna away. I away. I away. I away. I away. And the crown chakra. I wanna hey. I'm gonna interrupt myself and just say that the crown chakra is a vortex extending upward, and so there is no front and back. So this is conical going straight up. I wanna hey away. I wanna hey. I wanna hey away. Hey, hey. And then I'm going to come down to the feet, to the chakras in each of the bottom of the feet that are also conical with the shortest part of the cone. You can feel it often from the sole of your feet going down and up. So the radiation point is from the sole of the foot going out and through your foot upward. Oh, wanna hey away. I wanna hey. I wanna hey away. I wanna hey. And then I'm doing a little shorter version, as you can tell, with the feet, and then the hand chakras, the palms, are also the center of the vortex radiating out this way. And it's often, you can hold your palms out and up so you can be aware and tuned in. I wanna know, hey, away. I wanna know, hey. I wanna know, hey, away. I wanna know, hey. And the last the last two chakras below our feet that are off the body and the chakra above our head are also activating our entire energy sphere. So you may also feel the vibration that comes out into your greater auric field as those chakras are spherical, and you may feel that through your whole system. So the way that you may experience it is kind of like threads of energy moving through your system. I wanna know hey away. I wanna know hey. I wanna know hey away. I wanna hey. I wanna way. Oh, I wanna way. I wanna way. I wanna way. So it is.
Wow. That was the first time I've ever felt that from just humming a melody alongside you. And what I love, my hands are literally vibrating right now, but I want to go through, I took notes on what I felt, and I'm sensing that everyone was feeling something similar. I know we're each unique, but what I find very interesting, wow, my hands, now I'm just talking and I can feel the vibration of my voice through my hands. That like
Oh,
feels so cool. So when we started at the root, for some reason I just felt like home, like an ancient memory of just home. I wrote that down. It just felt like home. And then I started to feel energy move in the sacral, like more of a movement of energy. Solar plexus a little bit more. By the time we got to the heart, literally feeling that vibration of the voice in that heart chakra area. And then the throat, I could feel the power of our voice, the vibration of our voice. And it reminds me of the Hawaiians who say our voice is aloha. So
uh,
use it wisely, use it with peace and compassion. So then we get to the third eye, and I could literally feel the vibration in my third eye as I was humming along with us. And I had never really felt that before. I mean, sure, we can feel the resonance in our body, in our throat, in our heart, but I never felt it in the third eye. So it seemed like it kept progressing. Then the crown, I put my like right now, I could feel the vibration of my voice on my crown, and that's amazing. But then when we had that visual of the crown being open, oh my goodness, I felt so supported, like I was communicating with angels.
oh, wow.
I know that was just so like, wow. Okay, so that was really cool. But then, okay, so then when we went to the feet, not really, I think I was really grounded, but I didn't really feel much there, like the vibration. That was just something that we were going through. But then when we got to the hands, like right now, I can feel every word like vibrating in my hands. And then the whole aura, I could feel my whole aura buzzing. Wow. I feel really clean. I feel connected. What's going on here? That's amazing.
Well, I think, Lauren, you're very sensitive and you've been doing this work, and so you have a heightened sensitivity. And this is really the first time that I have shared this over a live stream. So it's very powerful to do it with other people.
Right.
And I also noticed for myself when I got to the voice, the throat, that I had a click. I heard a click. And so hearing what you hear where there's a resistance
Yeah.
um, tells you something about what's happening in your awareness and your field. So I just thought I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's all really interesting. And so this process, singing to our chakras, is so beautiful that as we were doing this, it just reminds me of the power of our voice and the power of singing
Very
and
much.
what we're doing with our voice. And so this is this what is it doing? Is it aligning our chakras? Is it putting them all back in order? Is it clearing them out? What is it
Yeah.
doing? Yes, yes, all of the
Yes.
above.
And also, a way that it could be used with other people or a child is to put your hand on their heart, if that's a safe experience, or their shoulder, and sing it, because the connection is very profound. It's
Right.
very restorative, and it's not demanding, or there's no expectations with it. It's just that presence of energy that's very kind of connecting us in our energy system in a very profound way.
It's really amazing. It's really remarkable. And so, I can see doing that. And so as we felt the energy coming out of our hands, I can see how this advances our healing abilities and right, and the power of our voice by doing that. So I want to say you are a doctor of behavioral health, and you've been working with the mental health field for many years, 30 plus years. Have you used this on your patients, and what have you witnessed? Because this is so centering and so calming. What is it like for people who are struggling?
Well, the truth is, the evolution of understanding the melody and its application is not something I used with people. In I had for a number of years I had a energy medicine mystical studies program, and I did not have. We did ceremonies and groups with other songs and melodies that had certain meanings, but this particular one had not been revealed to me. So I have not had the opportunity to share that with people in a training session, or to use it as a healing modality.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us today, because it's palpable. It is really amazing. So your guides gave you this melody? Share that
Yeah.
that backstory with us again. You may have alluded to it, but your guides in meditation, you were given it, you received it.
Yeah, I they it's more like it's a big huge group, and um they're ancient. I consider them like primordial melodies that brought or bring manifestation into being. And so, like,
Wow.
uh, in there's a guy who's dead. I think he was alive in 1658 or something. Johannes Kepler was a very famous astronomer, and I live in Tucson, so there's a famous observatory for the world astronomers, and at the top of it, it says that's dedicated to Johannes Kepler. Well, at that time period, people who were astrologers were just as respected for their astrology. And one of the things he also did was hear the sounds of the universe. And so this is very ancient information. And there are sounds of the planets and different sounds. And they're giving me these different melodies for different things. So this one is for the chakras and our energy system, and it also works with our karma in terms of because it's clearing, it's helping us release karma, or you could say what no longer serves us, but also so that we're not repeating it, because we can bring back experiences to us when we don't fully clear them. Right, we repeat things, and we repeat them. I have repeated things before, but with this, there's a resonance that gives you the opportunity to clear it more deeply, so that we're moving forward and not just repeating.
Getting out of those loops. That is wonderful. Really
Yes, those
wonderful. Oh my goodness.
It doesn't, it's not, I don't want people to think it's magic, like it's a magic wand poof, you don't have any karma. It's that you will be able to work through it.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and that you're using this as a tool to help clear it and bring it through.
Oh my gosh. You mentioned that you do this every day.
I
So
do.
literally, while we're waking up and maybe going for a jog, I can see people, well, or just sitting in meditation or just taking the time. And so the melody, if we don't know it, if we don't remember it exactly, will what we remember of it be good enough? Or should we remember it exactly?
I would, so what I do, and other people who are, when you get a song that comes through, whatever the song verse is or the melody verse,
Yeah.
I instantly put it on my phone,
Okay.
and and then I play it to myself so I can remember it, because
Okay.
it's very elusive, like a dream, when you wake up from
Yes.
a dream, and some dreams you can hold on to pieces, but then they slowly dissipate, and these will dissipate for me if I don't record them right away. So I would recommend to
Good.
record it, to get the melody, record it and play it. It's not that it has to be exact, but there's a composition of it that is powerful. So you don't want to miss the pieces.
Okay, great advice. So pull out your phone and just do it. And I would say we could record your voice doing it, but probably
It's
our own voice as well.
You can record my voice and then sing with my voice and record yourself.
Yes, okay, do all of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that you know what, the ancientness of it is really why when I first heard it when we were on the route is why I felt like home. Something is very universal, like galactic. Um,
Yes, yes, very much.
and as you were sharing how it came to you from the big group and the manifestors of being, for me, I felt the Elohim. Have you thought that the Elohim? um Builders of form. I mean, there's no, maybe we don't need to put any label on it, but that's what
They
came to me.
they have the name. I'll tell you the name that I have for them. It's called, I'll just speak it, and then it's a musical form too, and I cannot
Oh,
really
wow.
manage to repeat their language eloquently or adequately, but it's oh
Okay.
lo 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 lom lo way ala gasha te ala lum. That's their name. It's a huge kind of long name, and and let's see if I can put it into melody. Oh lo 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 oh, no, I don't think I can right now, but because I haven't done it in ages. But anyway, it's this very long name. And
Oh,
sometimes
wow.
the ends of it, sometimes the alagashate, that's the end. Sometimes they change that part, which I don't know if that means another energy's coming through. I'm not sure about that. But the beginning is always the same. Oh lo 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 way alagashate. Alleluia.
Wow. Fascinating. Really very, very cool. Something is kindling the word Lemuria. Have you contemplated that this could be Lemurian or even beyond that?
It's old.
It's old.
Yes, it's very, very old, and I don't associate it or them with any time on this planet,
Wow.
although they are, they're engaged in creation, right? Or I don't know, helping things become and transform.
Wow. When we learn about the Aborigines, how they remember dreaming and singing life on Earth, it feels very connected to that as well, and very off planet, very, oh my gosh, universally ancient. So maybe it's not even from this earth.
It has something, it's connected to this earth, but it's not that, I mean, I don't see that they were a civilization or they were living here and they built things or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Maybe
that they're
not
kind,
in a human form.
yeah, they're kind of like structural. They create structure.
Okay.
They create form.
Wow. Really fascinating. So grateful that you were able to share this technique. And as we use it in our lives, we can use it daily and we can watch what happens. Like when we did this through our chakras, I could feel everything expanding and changing. That's going to happen when we do this regularly as well. We're going to get different insights. Yeah.
Yes, and because I was doing the very long version to show people there is a long version, I do the short version for each chakra. So I do, I always think that when we start a practice, to really do it so you can feel it, and then as you become familiar with it, you can shorten it to the shorter version for each chakra as you become more attuned with it. So, because one of the things that people used to tell me is, oh my God, all these practices, they're going to take up my whole day.
Well,
So
humming and singing, we should do that every day anyway.
that's true. So I'm saying that you can evolve it, but to stay true to the pattern and the tone.
Yes, okay, very good. Well, thank you for sharing this powerful tool. It's new, it hasn't been really released out here in this form yet. And so we get to play with it and experience it in our lives. And that's such an incredible gift. So thank you for that. Is there any other thing you'd like to mention about this process?
What you just said reminded me that the reason why it's being released now and it wasn't released before is that it wasn't time, that we collectively weren't ready. And so it's time now for it to go out, for people to use it, because we have had the preparation to use it.
Wow. And again, I just want to share that the collective, the happenings on this planet right now make this really valuable for us to do in our own lives and in the lives of our loved ones and our family members and the children and wow. So really cool. I almost feel like our voice in itself is scalar energy. This feels like scalar energy to me, which is really God's source energy. And we know scalar energy goes to the right places. So when we're dealing with our chakras, wow, I can see how our energetics will be totally centered and balanced by doing this practice.
Oh,
Hmm.
I also feel that there's you that when we're working with energy, especially when we're working, if we're working in solitary or we're not working with other people, we often don't look at our own blind sides, right? We can avoid them. And so this has more of a kind of a gentle twist, or I don't know, twist isn't the right word, we'll say curvature, so that the opportunity to see your blind sides and then know how to shift is kind of supported by doing this.
Beautiful. Well, welcome home, everyone. Thank you for receiving this. Thank you, Susan, for sharing this. And again, it's an incredible gift. And now I know why it's so important for people to sing and hum and dance every day. And this
Yeah,
tool
it
is
is.
now, I want to say it's almost like a medical tool for us. It's a cleaning tool. It's an energy tool that is extremely helpful. So everyone, let us know what you experience from this. When you use this in your life and you witness changes in your life, send us an email back and let us know what that's like. Yeah.
I'd definitely
Cool.
like to know too.
We are
Yeah.
excited for that. Good. So, Dr. Susan, you are offering a special offer, and in this, it's a way that people can do a one-on-one session with you, one-on-one sessions, and you've also got a program, the Spiritual Awakening and Transformative Experience Program. This is right here on this webpage. You can scroll down and see this and find it. But tell us what this is and how people can work with you on these offers. Thank you.
The Spiritual Awakening and Transformative Experience Program is a collection of different, it's a protocol system, basically. There's a grounding, the grounding process, but there's a whole system of steps that people go through using particular sound rhythms with we'll call it guidance, that take people through processes that help to establish the energy bodies to be able to continue their transformation, and also to make more sense of peak experiences, and to collectively anchor the energy body and the physical body, the emotional body and the mental body, to have more experiences. So it's a whole system that people can use. And there's a document in there that tells you the steps, and so you could call each process a particular kind of meditation. And then each time you go through the meditation, there give more information, meaning that when we go through it once, it's one experience, and then the next time there's more awareness with it. So there's a deepening process. So that's a Spiritual Awakening and Transformative Experience Program.
Beautiful. Okay. How long is it? What's included with it?
People can go, I kind of think sometimes people could create a staycation if they wanted to clear their schedule for 4 days and go through it in a real accelerated way, just to go through the whole process. Or they can do one of the steps and sit with that for a week and go through the next step. So there's about 20 steps. So, and each meditation is a certain amount of time, and there's a video called Best Practices that gives people all the tools so that they can set themselves up for success. And there's also a different ways to record experiences, so that there's certain questions that are asked so that people can kind of notice their progress for sleep and dreaming, and the different experiences that they have, so they can kind of have a record of it and make notes. Because a lot of times if we don't write it down, then we forget that, oh, this happened. Like you wrote down when we were doing the chakras, you made notes, and that helped you hold on to that content. So there are different logs and a way to journal experiences through that process.
All right, I love it. And the description in this webpage will tell you more about it. And we're excited for people to explore with this. For people who've used it, how has their life transformed you? Is there a story that sticks out in your mind that you can share with us?
Well, I used the protocols in this program. So during the pandemic, I've changed. This was a 3-year program that I had, and I took the things that we were doing in that program and put them into this Spiritual Awakening and Transformative Experience, the peak things. And I've had people tell me that it saved their life. And I've had other people say, this was the most amazing experience for me that I've had that was life-changing. This gave me all these tools that I have that I keep using. So it's a powerful process. And because I think that sound and music are way underutilized and not understood of how potent they are, and that this is a kind of gathering all the tools together and giving it a form so that people can really benefit from how we can transform our consciousness.
Beautiful. Thank you for putting this together for everyone. We're excited for our audience to check it out and to experience it. Your heart will resonate with this, and if it does, it's available for you. It's a wonderful opportunity. And so you also do personal sessions. What do you do in personal sessions with people? There's an hour and a 30-minute personal sessions if people choose that. Tell us what happens there.
In those sessions, there are other songs that are available that are different kinds of songs that help to work with people, and they're similar to this in terms of I want people to take them home and use them to continue the work in their life and how it activates. So it depends on what the person is working on, and also ways to transfer content into the dream time and meditation to really empower experiences. So depends on what the person is interested, what direction that they're going in. So for some people who want to open up their meditation, that would be a very different experience than if somebody was working on healing a specific issue, just to show different. So there is a different meditation for really kind of being able to go into really deep states of meditation process. So it just depends on what the person is interested in. And some things also catalyze awareness of parallel lives or other experiences, and then kind of threading that back into how we can draw upon that in this time and utilize it.
Making us whole again. You are making us whole again with music and sound and beautiful meditations. Thank you so much for offering this, and we're excited to share it with our audience. All of these are new earth leaders, and you are assisting in us stepping into our potential. Thank you.
Thank you.
As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final thoughts and reflections.
I want to thank you for the work that you're doing and getting all these transformational changes out to people for wherever they go, because they keep moving and changing, and we need people who are transforming the planet in big ways. So thank you so much. Thank you for your work and holding that space. I've been listening to you for years.
Oh, beautiful. Well, welcome to this platform, and thank you for sharing. And we're looking forward for people to work with you as you help transform lives as well. Beautiful work, Susan, Sophia, James. Thank you for being here and sharing your light and your wisdom. It's really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you too for listening and adding your light to the world. As you take this technique and use it in your life, again, share with us what that is like and how it has helped you and the ones that you love. Thank you everyone for watching us. Again, you can scroll down and access this special offer from Dr. Susan, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Many blessings and namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.